What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Going to give just a moment to let everybody in here. Hope you are all doing well. First of all, I want to give our shout outs for Super Chat help this past week. .com, awesome. First Amendment auditor, great. YouTube turns, really appreciate it. We got a banger for you today. It's from my buddy. Okay, police state transparency. This guy is absolutely awesome. He's off the hook. He's off the chain. He's insane in the membrane. Hello, everyone, especially welcome to our members. Appreciate you guys as always. Really glad to have you. Just to let you know, you can always become a member. When you go to our page, you'll see the membership option. We do a couple different things, but one of the things that we have is our own Facebook group. We do regular calls. Also, we drop exclusive video content. Fun thing to do. We keep in chat with each other, keep in contact with each other, and we stay a pretty tight-knit AFA crew family. So welcome to everybody. If you want to do super chats, you get shout outs in the next video, paypal.me/accountability for all. If you want to help us out, keep us out there filming because we're back at you. But without further ado, enjoy this video. What's up, hippie? So in this video, I'm with Police State Transparency, and this guy's an absolute beast. You can see the one set of utility poles, which I'm standing behind. But he notices that there's actually other public utilities and gets even closer. And this woman who's doing security at this place, right next to a new weed shop in town, what exactly is it that he stumbles upon her smoking? Everyone enjoy. Let's start watching this video. Hopefully everyone got a notification. Let's just jump right into it. And also, if the mods could drop the link, let's everyone subscribe to Police State Transparency.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, how you doing? Oh, she's hiding. Catch you from over here. Oh, we got. Hi, man. How you doing? Good. You on camera? Want to say hi to the people? We're just recording. Public. Anything we see in public?
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that there.
You can't do that with.
No, this is private property.
Yeah, from there, right? From there on.
This is private property, right from that pole right there into this market, right near that gate.
Does it say? Does it say?
You have to go away before I file charges against you for recording.
Is it posted?
Are you recording me?
Absolutely. I'm recording
You
it.
guys are weirdos.
I know. Is it posted? Is it posted? But is it posted?
So guys, let's chat real quick. So she says that to be able to take pictures of her or to post her image, he needs consent or she will press charges against him.
You could call them.
You have to ask permission to record people.
I have to ask permission to record people.
Ask my permission. I didn't give you permission to record.
Can I have your permission?
No.
I can't have your permission?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
No way, you boy.
I'm a funny boy. Why can't I have?
Get off the property now.
Why can't I have? This is public property
Get
still.
off the property now. This is the property.
This is not. It's from there on.
The property line is out there. Please go out there.
Ma'am, you're too close to me.
Property, you're on the property.
Ma'am, you're too close to me. You're too close to me.
You have to get off the property.
But once you gotta calm down.
Listening to this conversation.
But are you too close to me?
I asked him like 50 times to get off the property.
This is not. It's from there on.
That pole right there is the property line.
Does it say no trespassing there?
I'll show you.
Show me where it is. I'll follow you.
It does say no trespassing.
Where? Show me where.
It does say no trespassing.
Show me where.
Right here.
Show me where.
This right here.
Show me where.
That's the property line right here.
Show me where. Shut the fuck up and show me where.
Oh, that's special.
So show me where.
Oh, the cops are right there.
I don't give a fuck about the cops.
Oh, you big boy.
No, you a big boy. You wanna come to me and get through it. I was being kind with you. I'm not trespassing. So if I'm trespassing, so call the cops. If I'm trespassing, call the cops. This lady's nuts.
Now, guys, real quick, I just want to point out, she goes hands-on. She has an absolute meltdown. She wants to find the cops. Oh, thanks so much, Christian. And by the way, Christian brought something to my attention. I clear the mod lists and the block lists every couple months, just so that way the people that are in the AFA jail can be released. And, you know, sometimes people don't come in. So if you did lose a wrench, and you would like it back, just let me know, because I can't give you your wrench back until you're in the live. What's up, Denver Metro? But the funny part about this, guys, is she needs to go tell the cops. Where do you think she goes to find the police? In a Dunkin' Donuts. This video is bomb. Subscribe to Police State Transparency.
You nuts?
How am I not?
Because you told me I can't film in public. I need your permission.
I said you can't be on the
Why are you telling me
property.
this is not your property? First of all, it's not yours. It's not your property. Second of all, let's calm down a little bit because I will calm down. Can we have
on the property once you pass?
All right, I'll listen to you and you listen to me.
Here,
Okay.
back there, that's the property, okay? So if you stay on this side of the gate, I have no problem with either one of you.
So why did you come so close to me though, man?
You came over on the property now. You gotta back up now.
Man, but this is
You gotta back up.
Look at the
You have no business on this market.
Why you mean? How you know I
have no
don't?
business in the market because you don't.
How you know I don't come here and get my produce here?
Okay, you ain't.
Why not?
It's closed.
I know that. You see, she says she feels like smacking
Guys, there's the first threat of violence. She says she wants to smack him in his shit bag. I've never heard that term of violent endurance before, and I've never seen it happen yet, but she wants to smack him in his shit bag. So watch your shit bags, people. And please, while everyone's here, smash that like button like Christian did. You can show your love, super chat, and we'll shout you out in the next video, just like .com, YouTube turns. And you can also join the memberships or PayPal us. You want to help us out on the road, paypal.me/accountability for Raw. Let's watch.
Man, we just asking questions. I know. Great, yeah. But this is not private property. It's after there. Come on. That's right. She done became like a Karen. As you can see, there is no trespassing sign at all anywhere here. I'll wait right here. No problem. She's making a call. That's okay. Definitely don't scare nobody, especially when you know your rights. There's no trespassing sign from here. Nowhere. Let's take a look at that. And there's a police officer right there, so Karen went out of control. And excuse my language for her to tell her to shut the fuck up, but she just came real close to me and kept insulting me. So, you know, you get what you give. I'm usually never disrespectful to people like that. AFA, I'm around. She told me to wait. She said to wait. The fuck up.
Guys, it always happens in these types of places where they have no idea what's going on.
Excuse me, sir. The property's from here and on. The property, well, let's get it clear. Sir, the property's from here and on, sir. What do you mean? I was free to record. I'm coming by here to show the people this is where the food produce, where people pick up their food produce in Boston, Massachusetts. And this lady unprofessionally cursed me out, told me I can't record her, telling me that she's a private, that I have to have permission to record people, and she's totally wrong. I could record you, I could record her anytime I want. It's not illegal. So if it's illegal, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna stay right here. How about that? Call police. Yes, police right there. Call them. Absolutely.
By the way, guys, just want to point something out that you should take notice of. We're 15 minutes into this video, and she's still smoking her cigarette, very wide cigarette. Now, to each his own, right? You know, if you want to smoke, feel free. I mean, it's an herb, it's a plant. However, this woman's acting in a security capacity, and she has a cigarette that's been going for 15 minutes. I don't think I could stretch a cigarette to 10 minutes, let alone 15. And she happens to be right next to a new weed shop in Boston. Anyone else notice that? Now, in a second, you're going to see the cop show up. And then I'm going to play my camera angle because the cop goes hands-on. And you'll see just why. So enjoy. By the way, guys, smash that like button. Super chat, help us out. And we appreciate all PayPal. But most importantly, subscribe to Police State Transparency. Moderators are putting the link in the chat now. And also our new channel, DMAFA Pranks. Go check it out and subscribe.
What? We got a utility sign right there. It's public. They're right there. Call them up. Josh, they coming. They're right here. This guy called them over there. How's it going? How's it going, officer? All right, just filming. That's right, public. He said it. This is public. Let's say they come over here to get outside of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Those stories, public.
I know, but we're showing the people this is where they get their produce. You just don't have to be a company. Anybody from the public could come in here and buy their produce right here.
Right.
And there is no trespassing signs nowhere here. So we right here. And I think the cop is explaining that to them right now.
Right. even if they were like GIS survey, it's all public utilities, right? Not private anyway. I mean, maybe they don't want to be filmed, but that's decided. That really has no.
Yeah, boy, it's the truth. How you doing, officer? All right. What's your name and badge number, sir? I'm sorry. Just for the record. Thank you,
Chelsea
Lieutenant.
Police.
So,
Do me a favor, okay?
Okay.
What we're gonna do here is you have the freedom to report anybody you want, but this is private property. You're gonna pay to get in here, so you have to stand. You want these yellow lines here? You can stand up here and videotape this all you want, sir.
all right, sir.
This is a private area.
All right, sir. Let me explain to you, right?
Okay.
I actually come in here and pick up produce during the week. I do not have to pay to come in here and pick up produce.
Your company does. Somebody's paying because you have to pay to get here.
Well, these are trucks. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, during the day, you just walk in and you go to the department that you're gonna pick up food, because the public could come in here and buy food. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but anybody.
That's not the case. But go ahead.
But that is the case. So I understand, and I didn't pass that. From those gates on, I stood right here, and I'm showing the people, my viewers, that this is where this is a Boston big produce department here, and you guys are allowed to come here. Quickly, she escalated the situation, telling me I cannot record her, I need a permission, I'm doing illegal stuff. So I'm actually educating her, letting her, she got too close to me. I said, ma'am, step back. I backed up, and I've been here recording ever since. Absolutely no problem. This is a utility pole. This is actually public. From there on, I don't think there's no trespassing signs anywhere, but I'm not gonna disrespect that anyway, because I don't have no business there today. I have no business there today. So we just here recording, absolutely. Now, and we're not gonna pass that. We're not passing this.
Okay, you own a house, okay? Or I'm sure you got some kind of
House is a private property.
Hold on. Let me explain something. You're right. You see, when they got a fence, that
Yes.
means that's property that they don't want you on, unless you got permission of the property owner.
Well, not necessarily,
Sure.
but we're gonna.
If they trespass you, that's all they need to do is tell you they don't want you here, and then you can't come back here for your business either. Okay?
All right, guys, now here's where we switch. Now, we never went past the fence. So for this guy to say like we were able to maneuver over a fence and climb, but now let's go to my view, okay? They have a rookie cop with them. Not even a rookie cop. He's doing a ride along so he can train to be a cop. But the guy still 100% looks like a dick. He's got the Farva mustache. And watch what happens. This guy goes absolutely mental. And then we make the lieutenant go tell him that his boy's an idiot. So this is exactly where we cut from his video to mine.
Okay, where I'm sure you got some kind of property. Okay, okay. Hold on. Let me explain something. You're right. But you see, when they got a fence, that means that's property. Hey, sir, listen, he's an observer, he's not a police officer.
I don't care.
Okay, so step back.
No, I'm on a public easement.
All right.
Yo, Lieutenant, de-escalate your officer. Let him know I can film in public. I can film this cruiser without you trying to put your hands on me. Yeah, he's trying to go hands-on. See you later. What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number? Identify per your policy.
Stand by.
Stand by.
You're gonna have a move for a second. His name's Officer Ortega.
Thank you.
Okay. I've explained to your partner here what's going on. He understands. He's going to comply. I'd like you to do the same.
Yeah, no problem. The public utilities we can't go past.
Further than here, so just stay right here, and then you can videotape all day long.
That's
okay?
fine. My problem is this guy tried to go hands-on with me because he said I can't film the person inside the cruiser.
No, he maybe misunderstood it.
He's very misunderstood.
I will inform him what's going on. Okay.
All right.
Watch the traffic. Just watch the traffic so you don't get hit. Okay.
All right.
Stay out here beyond this yellow line. Because at that point, it goes to private property. Private property, whether they invite the public in or not, just the same as if you go to CBS and CBS tells you they don't want you
trespass.
there. They can trespass you. So they don't want you there right now. They're in charge of the property. So don't go back there for now.
We don't break laws, Lieutenant.
Okay.
I want to get that clear. We don't break no laws. We usually go with a.
You're not violating any laws at this point. You've now been proved. You can have them trespass officially.
Well, wait.
Can you?
You cannot solicitate a trespass.
It's up to the business.
But you cannot do that.
Can you just get?
They have to do it. They wanted you off the business.
Can you
That's
just
why
get
we're
me
here.
a written trespass
Yeah,
notice, please?
I need a written one.
You don't need a written trespass.
Absolutely, I need a written one.
He has no idea what they do.
If you don't get it right, walk up 266, 112. money.
They
okay?
can verbally trespass you. It's just depending on the officer, they have the ability to offer a written as well.
Right?
Listen, don't speak to me. Go away.
Yeah, no, why don't you do that? Just go away.
Thank you, sir.
We already spoke to the cops. You're not a cop. Go away.
All right.
Have a good day, officers. Ortega, you ready? Are you good? Hands on for a camera, huh? You going to arrest that man? His treasonous thug wearing a costume.
How about that?
Just make sure you cross down there.
All right, y'all. Listen, I'm going to put up the screen real quick so you guys can see what channel I would like you to subscribe to. This is my buddy UK Transparency. What's up? This guy's my biggest video, actually 1.7 million views, is this guy right here. So this is his channel. He's been with me for a long, long time, doing a lot of great work. This is Police State Transparency. So make sure you go subscribe, get his subscribers up. We need to do the best that we can to make sure that other activists in the field today can get more exposure. The more exposure that they get, the more bad cops we get off the street. So we would love for you guys to go over to Police State Transparency, tell him AFA sent you, and if the mods could please drop a link in the chat, that would be great for Police State Transparency. He has been having issues with people finding the channel because he's so new and his subscribers are low. If mods can, let me see if I can actually get it there. Here we go. Yeah, Late Night just put it up there. Police State Transparency. If everyone could click that link, we very much appreciate it. And off topic, one of the best things I've ever seen, okay? I am well known for asking the cops if they mind if we can search. Do they have drugs in their vehicle? I'm doing a video tomorrow on this, and it's friggin' amazing. I want to share this with you guys. CH and Ty Audits, our friends over at CH and Ty, that's Craig and Ty, they actually got a cop to let them search their vehicle. I'm going to show you their video. I'm dropping a version of this tomorrow, and you just need to see it. The shit's amazing. I mean, I thought I was taking it to new levels with Chuck Bronson when we were doing radar and checking cops on radar and then pulling them over and letting them know the reason that we stopped them. But this guy took it to a brand new level. So I'm going to mute myself, let you guys watch this. This is absolutely awesome. Like I said, I'll hit cops with the radar gun. I'll hit them real quick. I've always said, can I search you? Watch what this guy does. CH and Ty Audits.
What's that? What's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, brother. You?
Yeah, not bad. How about yourself?
Doing good, man.
Asking what you're up to?
I can't really disclose that to you, man. But are you just animal control?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have any like identification so I can see who you like that you are, confirm that you are animal control? That's your ID card on you.
Let's see here. This one here doesn't specifically say
That you are.
They haven't given me my new one, but it does have my picture and stuff.
Okay, deputy. Okay, a deputy. Yeah, and that is you. All right.
Yep.
Awesome, man.
Yep.
Great stuff. Okay. You know, is there any like is everything in this vehicle yours? Like
No.
besides the no? Okay. So you wouldn't know if there's like any drugs or anything in this vehicle, like if there's drugs or like illegal firearms, anything of that nature in here?
To my knowledge, there is, and I mean, I've checked it, cleaned it out, and stuff. I've never seen anything like that.
All right, man. You wouldn't mind if we just checked real quick, would you? Just kind of made sure that there was no drugs, anything like that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You wouldn't mind? Can you just so that you know that, just so everybody knows, you don't mind if I just enter? Just okay. Awesome stuff. Thanks, man. All right, can we come get this here? We got what is this here, man? Just trash bags?
Yeah, just trash bags.
Okay. All right. Right. We got a rope. Rope there.
I mean, for real, people, he's searching the cop's vehicle. First, he gets him to, I mean, the king of script flips right here. First, he gets him to hand over his identification, and now he's literally searching the cop's vehicle for drugs and contraband. CH and Ty audits. This is just mind blown. Let's watch.
What do you use? Oh, that's for a leash kind of thing, huh?
Yep. Okay.
All right. You mind if I take a look in the bag? Because that's really what I was wondering about. I can kind of see everything else, but I was just wondering. Okay. All right. Awesome. That's great. Okay. Awesome. So you can see there's nothing in there. All right. And a charger. Yep. All right, man. You don't mind if I check this out too? Go ahead. What you got in here? Some papers, is that? Some papers.
Not sure. Oh, they put down glasses and like a.
Is it like a kind of like a visor thing for your
Yeah.
eye? Okay. I didn't know about those. I check those out for myself, man. Oh no. What is this? What is this here? What are these?
Caffeine tablets.
Okay, caffeine. It is labeled caffeine. Let's make sure that we see that it's labeled. All right. If it was out of the package, that might have to be tested. Field tested. But all right, man.
Wait, so he finds the caffeine package and he goes, if this was out of the package, would have to have this field tested. Fucking unbelievable. Let's finish it up. This is awesome.
You look clean, brother. Hey, I appreciate your cooperation, man, because if it makes me worry, you know what I mean? But all right, brother. Hey, we appreciate you doing what you do, man.
Have a good day.
Yeah,
guys.
you as well, brother. All right. Awesome. All right, we'll just continue on with the investigation real quick.
Holy smokes. I mean, balls to the wall. I mean, like I said, we got a cop on the radar detector. And that's what happens when you flip the script on these types of cops and on most cops. They're so used to being in your to not be in your shoes. They don't know what that feels like. So when they get put in that situation, if you're confident enough, if you're intelligent enough, you're strong and persuasive enough, then they're going to just immediately regress to be the beta while you take control as alpha. And that's what happens in these videos. It's what happened when I did the radar detector. I pull the cop over and I'm like, hey guys, you're speeding. Got you doing 14 miles per hour. And the cop's like, oh, I was going from here to there. And I'm sorry. I was doing this and that. It won't happen again. My apologies. Just coming up with every excuse in the book that you would normally be giving cops. And that's our duty. To flip the script on these guys. They normally don't expect it. I dropped a video yesterday from Fairlawn, Ohio, where the guy, a business owner, puts the cop in absolute check and they just don't know what to do. You deny your ID, right? And if you get arrested, you figure it out in court. But we have rights. Use them or lose them. Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you have seen the video of me pulling the cop over with the radar gun. Put it 2 if you have not seen it. It's like 3 minutes. I'll play it real quick if you guys haven't seen it, but if you have, there's no point playing it again. I just want to give a tutorial on how you flip the script. All right, so some people have not seen it. All right, so .com, what's up, brother? Gave you a shout out earlier. I'm going to play it real quick just so you guys can know. You always have the right to do this. It'll cost you $60, people. $60 to go get you a radar gun. $60 to make these cops feel the way we as citizens feel every day when they torture us, harass us, and violate our rights. This shit needs to stop. So let's, here it is, cop caught speeding and wants a break. So enjoy, peeps. Smash that like button. Go ahead and set the notification bell to always. Super chat if you want. CH and Ty, you just missed it. We showed your video. Excuse me, sir. I think I saw you earlier. You might have pulled someone over, but I got you doing 39 and a 25. That's 14 over.
Do what now?
The light's running.
Okay.
And I thought I saw you pulling someone else over.
No, I haven't made a
Was
traffic
that
stop
another
today.
stop? No, might have been someone else. But 39 and a
Okay.
25. Any
I'm sorry.
explanation?
I was just heading here to a call to back her up, so
All
sorry.
right, cool. We didn't have any emergency lights on. Have you
No.
ever given a speeding ticket before?
What's that?
Have you ever given a speeding ticket before?
Yes, I have.
All right, perfect. So we're going to be clocking all you guys. What's up, guys? AFA here with who? You know who? Chuck motherfucking Bronson. Bronson got himself a new toy, radar gun. Cops clock you, cops pull you over, cops set you up. They sit and they stalk and they wait and they're stealthy. They're surreptitious, they're clandestine, and they catch you speeding. And what do? You clock them back. And that's exactly what we've been doing. Enjoy, cops caught by the clock. Oh, yes, you motherfucker. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Ooh, 39. 39. That cop just went 39 down this street. Straight ahead. Go. 39. All right, guys, so we got this cop going 39 and a 25. No emergency lights, so we're going to wait until they come out and ask them why they're speeding today. Let them know we clocked. Excuse me, sir. I think I saw you earlier. You might have pulled someone over, but I got you doing 39 and a 25. That's 14 over.
Do what now?
I got you. I clocked you doing 39 and a 25.
Okay.
All right. I believe that's speeding. What is that, about 14 miles per over?
Where was that at?
Just down the street, you took a left by where the CVS is. You
Okay.
took a left onto the street, didn't have any emergency lights running.
Okay.
And I thought I saw you pulling someone else over.
No, I haven't made a
Was
traffic
that
stop
another
today.
stop? No, might have been someone else. But 39 and a
Okay.
25. Any
I'm sorry.
explanation?
I was just heading here to a call to back her up, so
All right,
sorry.
cool. We didn't have any emergency lights on. Have you
No.
ever given a speeding ticket before?
What's that?
Have you ever given a speeding ticket before?
Yes, I have.
All right, perfect. So we're going to be clocking all you guys.
Okay.
And every single time that we have a speeding issue, we're going to record it because, you know, with all due respect, if you can cite someone for speeding, we should be obeying the law, right?
I understand. I
All
apologize.
right, perfect. Thanks,
Sorry.
Officer Provo.
Okay.
See you later. Thank you. Slow down. There's kids out, you know. And that's the reason we stopped him today. Almost double the speed limit. All right, guys, this is the cop that we just pulled over, and this is why I only let him off with a warning today. This is a very steep uphill. Pushing a guy up in a wheelchair up a hill. That's why he got a warning today. Died. How steep that shit is. So that's why he got a warning, because he pushed a guy in a wheelchair that was a veteran up a hill. It was discretion. Let him off with a warning. But that's what you do. Okay? You start like CH and Ty whenever they see cops. Whenever they see cops, what are you doing? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Was your last drink public or private? Are you under the influence of any drugs? Is there anything in your vehicle I should know about? Anything illegal I should know about? Do you mind if I conduct a search for a citizen safety? Is there anything when I conduct my citizen safety search that might poke me, pinch me, prod me? Flip the script. As soon as you do that, you disable them. There's only going to be two reactions. They're going to do what the cop did in CH and Ty's video, and this video did in mine. cop did in my video, they're just going to back down because they don't understand. Like, that's the first time they're put in this situation. And if you're confident enough, they fear you, or they're going to get violent and you just exposed another one. Never settle for less. A link for the radar guns. I can find a link and then post it in the comment section for this video. I don't have one right this second. But this is absolutely, this is what we need to do. They have no, Supreme Court's already ruled that they don't have responsibility to protect the public. They're not there for our safety. They're there for law enforcement. And I love a lot of the time that these cops will act as the judicial, legislative, and executive branch of the government, right? They will condemn you. They literally have the right to find probable cause, reasonable articulable suspicion, and then enforce law and make an arrest if they have probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion. And if you ask a cop, most of the time, they don't know what reasonable articulable suspicion is. They don't know what probable cause is. You ask them, right? Reasonable articulable suspicion means that you have some belief that within your training that a felony, misdemeanor, or ordinance has happened, is in the commission of happening, or is about to happen. That gives you reasonable articulable suspicion to detain someone. But what most cops don't even know, which is surprising to me, is that probable cause is actually a much higher standard than reasonable articulable suspicion. You need probable cause to effect an arrest. And one of the major issues with this is Terry v. Ohio. This law gives the police the right, amongst many other things, as a byproduct by proxy, to suspend your constitutional rights. Qualified immunity is a huge problem within America. It says that in the Constitution that any law that abridges the Constitution in itself is not constitutional. So how can you give police officers that are not the executive, judicial, and legislative branch the ability, under definition, statute, and precedents, to terminate, suspend, or sustain someone's constitutional rights? They don't know the legal follow-through to effect an arrest on a citizen that hasn't committed a crime, let alone understand what qualified immunity means to them, gives to them, and takes from us. .com, thank you so much. Listening to YouTube over the years shows our life is not defined by what does or does not happen to you. It is defined how you react to what happens. Thank you for all you do. And I'm glad you brought this up. Delete Laws, what's up, brother? Delete Laws and I actually had a conversation. Let me drop a link. You want to come up? Feel free. Everyone should subscribe to Delete Laws. Great guy, great friend, and always foremost an activist. He could give a shit what the haters say, and there's only so many haters because he's doing so much good work. However, I'm going to pin that. Oops. Hold on, guys. Delete Laws and I were talking once, right? And what we were talking about was, let me just pin that comment so people can find it easily. We were talking about how we got into this movement, right? And I remember that when I started this, I never ever thought I would be where I am today. But a cop wanted to detain me. I knew about Terry v. Ohio, and I asked him, is this a Terry stop? No, he had no idea what he was doing. All he knew is that he thought he could violate my rights, and here's why they violate your rights. Number one, they assume that you're too ignorant to know your rights, or they're too ignorant to know the law and they're undereducated, because that's what happens when you can kill somebody, but you only go to school for 6 months. And this is the shit that cops will normally do to you. They'll go up to you. You'll never see a cop be like, excuse me, sir, just to let you know, there's no reasonable articulable suspicion or probable cause to believe that you've been engaged or about to be engaged in a misdemeanor, felony, or city ordinance violation for me to actually obtain your identification and violate your Fourth Amendment right. So you don't actually have to give it to me. With that being said, do you mind if I have your ID? Why don't they say that? Because they're being nefarious, surreptitious, and clandestine. They want to just get that ID and they figure, all right, if the citizen knows their rights, then we'll be on to the next one. We had a conversation and it got to a point where I was at a crossroads and I went from really blowing up to getting a lot of views, right? And I just went from, having a drug problem and living on the streets to almost overnight being monetized on YouTube, traveling the country, and spitting knowledge to people. And there came a time when I had two choices. Take the arrest, right? Do the right thing, or walk and save to fight another day. Now, a lot of people will argue you can't have your rights violated until they're violated. So if the cop says leave or you're subject to arrest and you leave, that is the effect of them actually violating your rights. And it bothered me every day since. That was probably when I was under 5,000 subscribers. And every single time since then, I took the ride, because regardless of how much money I make, regardless of how many subscribers I have, or regardless of how many views we have, I am the smallest part of my channel. When we start our channel, we have no subscribers. We're the biggest part. But the moment you get 2 subscribers, you are, from that moment until you decide to close doors, shut things down, or delete your channel, you are the smallest part. And ineffective, you are regurgitating and disseminating information to a public that believes in you and that needs your information to help them understand their rights. Now, right here on this channel, we've always been teaching at a kindergarten level. We start with the First Amendment, because the First Amendment of the Constitution is the building block, the very foundation of the United States of America. And we cannot move past until we know the first. We know the first, and it's easy to understand that the Second Amendment is to protect our First Amendment rights. And then you get to the Fourth, the Fifth. I love cops that don't know what the Third Amendment is. And people used to dog me all the time for being like, what's the Third Amendment? Now people like Auditing America and other channels are actually copy what I do. But I asked them that because the Third Amendment gives you the right to refuse soldiers housing during a time of peace, right? So we're not at war. Why am I forced to quarter with an enemy combatant, especially one wearing a clown costume, running around enforcing fake laws that don't exist, only to suspend your constitutional rights through his bullshit qualified immunity? And we grow, and we get guys like this dude right here, the one that actually searched the cop's vehicle, that's out here doing the next generation. And I was talking about this earlier on my smaller channel. However, this is what we point out. You have the OG activists, right? You have the first generation of auditors. Those are the people that introduced you to the fact that it's even legal to film the police. People like my friend John Felix, friend Gavin Syme. Okay, Joshua, Gavin Syme, that's the reason I stopped you today. That actually came from him. When 8 years ago, he would go out to a traffic stop and ask cops why they had illegal tint, and he would hand out tickets. And I would watch him and I'd say, holy shit, I can't believe you can actually do that. And I knew that I'm an educated guy, and I needed to educate myself on exactly what he was preaching. Okay, it doesn't have to be religion for you to take in a sermon and soak in that information. And then you get the second generation of activists, people like me. You know what I mean? That go out and say to the cops, fuck you. Anything on you I should know about? Any drugs on you? Anything illegal on you? Right? And then there's the third generation. I always say that as we evolve, police devolve. We're not creating the gap, people. We're just growing, and the cops are refusing to move with the time because they don't want to give up that power. But it starts with someone like me being like, anything in your car I should know about? Any drugs on you? To the next generation. Guys like CH and Ty Audits that you need to subscribe to, that actually make that cop allow them to search. This is not the first video either. He has 2 other videos where he gets the cop to show him his identification, and he checks the guy's registration. That's what being a community is all about. And that's how the growth happens, because this is what we do, right? We evolve. Now, I could never be as good as this guy as what he did. I'm a generation before him, right? This is where the movement leads, to guys like this, guys like Chili DeCastro over at Delete Laws. You guys are watching Chili, and he's getting the numbers that he's getting because people have never seen anything like this before. Just like I used to get 2,000 people in my chats. I'd drop a video with 3,000 subscribers, and it would have 50,000 views overnight because no one had seen what I was doing. No one has seen what Chili's doing before. It's called leading the way, right? It's called making your bones and giving the people something else to follow. And that's exactly what CH and Ty is doing as well. Absolutely fucking killing it.
Thank you, Josh.
It's What's up? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. I'm hearing you talk about the Constitution and all that stuff, and I can't agree more, dude. I mean, constitutional education is some of the most important stuff that the public schools will not do. And it's, I mean, I think that it is also interesting. That's why people come to watch our channels. I mean, the founding fathers, though, when they made this country, I mean, a lot of people don't really, sorry?
It's by design. Like, keep in mind, up until the 70s, they used to have a class that was not an elective that you would have to take in school called civics. Okay. They would teach you your civic duty. They would teach you the law. They would make sure you understood what it was to be an American, not just American as labeled on your passport, but American as in your inherent and inalienable rights when being birthed or migrating to this country. And we can't keep up with all the changes. That's why it's so great when guys like you and Chili do something that no one's ever seen before. I mean, I was in Indiana a couple of years back and I found a story of cops beating on somebody. And I went to the police station. They got all sorts of call floods and shit went crazy. And people were like, I've never seen like that happen. I did it years before that in fucking Chicago. No one was like, I've never seen the phones light up like that. And then you take it like in your case, in his case, he takes it a step further. He gets involved. He has an entire community, and people think that the entire community in Ironton is rallying around him. They're not rallying around him. They're rallying around themselves. In medieval times, the people under the Magna Carta, they constrained a king, and they made sure that tyranny could be limited, and the people will find the best face for that fight. And Chili happens to be the best face for that fight as what's going on right now. But he's getting into a part of this movement that hasn't been done yet. He's just the face, right? And soon after, down the road, someone else will pick up that face. But that's the great thing about Chili. That's a great thing about CH and Ty and Big Man and Booker is that this isn't like commercial cornered content where it's like, I've done something no one else has done before. I got 2,000 views. I'm going to keep them in my chat. I'm going to make all the money. And then I'm going to corner this market. He's passing the baton, right? He came into my chat and we had like friggin' 850 people in there. Now, he could have been using that content to try and make money for himself. But the fact is, he's passing the baton. We are only as good as the activists that came before us, and we will only be able to grow as much as the activists that will come after us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And like I know personally a large part of what I try to do with my videos is point out just somewhat of the idiocy of the somewhat of the idiocy of the current just regime that we've got going on. And I don't mean with presidents. I just mean with the way the government's set up. I mean, these people don't know the first thing about the government and what we are as Americans supposed to be about. I mean, I'm a First Amendment auditor, but one of the biggest amendments that I'm passionate about is the 10th Amendment. And I don't have it in front of me, but this is going off of memory, is that every power not granted to this Congress by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states is reserved to the states respectively and to the and to the people of the states. Now, that means that basically all these federal funded public schools, all the federal funded police stations, there's no provision for that in the Constitution. And I mean, like all these provisions for, say, I don't know, business laws, like the whole commerce laws. There's no business for that. James Madison said that regulation means to keep regular. Well, to keep regular, 25% taxes isn't regular. That's very abnormal. There's a lot of stuff going on in this country that's just absolutely out of hand, man. But we can't open up the eyes of the masses until we really show them the underlying problem, and that is the hypocrisy, the violence, and just the overall ignorance of this government that we live under here in the United States. It's tyrannical, and the only way we're going to stop it is through
terrorism. Would you call it domestic terrorism? Would you stretch to go that far?
Yeah. What we've got going on in the United States, yeah, definitely.
I agree. Now, these cops,
especially what the cops are doing.
Yes, our servicemen and women as well. They swear to protect our country from all threats, both
Foreign and domestic.
foreign and domestic. Now, let me show you something. We, the people, when we see a terrorist cell show a video of them beating somebody, right? They beat the shit out of somebody and they display it, they showcase it, and we say, oh my God, that's terrible. What's the first thing when you walk in, you turn yourself to the right that you see in a police station?
Somebody
The
getting the
torture
shit.
museum. The torture museum.
Yeah.
They'll show you these old handcuffs and shackles and old guns
Yeah.
and old field sobriety tests. Let's not think this is new. They've been violating your Fourth Amendment right from the 60s when they first had a big suitcase trunk style field sobriety test. They've been trying to stay ahead of the curve, and that's domestic terrorism, right? And they're
Yeah.
showing it off. So they have pride in it. What's more dangerous than a cop that's willing to hurt you but will pretend that he didn't mean to, is a cop that is so secure in his security and safety that he will say, not only am I going to torture you, not only am I going to throw you in cuffs, not only am I going to throw you in a cage in a dungeon, but afterwards I'm going to throw the cuffs in a museum out front and see if we can get dollars for the Fraternal Order of Police.
Yeah, we'll brag about it for everybody to see. And these thugs in the Supreme Court, I mean, look, the police are bad, but the police are, in my opinion, they're pawns to these people in, in the Supreme Court and whatnot. I mean, the idea that your Fourth Amendment right can be suspended. Where does it say that in the Constitution? Or that the Second Amendment only applies if we say so? I mean, where is this? Where do they come up with these ideas? And what idiot? I mean, how do we have such an ignorant mass of population that they think, well, oh yeah, you're allowed to have a gun. It's a Second Amendment. But as long as the government says so, it's like, where does it say in the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed unless we say so?
Or we have a permit. When we agreed, we said no taxation without representation. And when we made that deal, we agreed that the representation will be for the people's needs, the people's wants, and the people's security, right? Like we, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and promote the general welfare. The government only, in theory, exists to serve us, not to find ways and to spend money and cash cow to limit what we're allowed to do. But the problem doesn't come from the cops, in my opinion. And most people might hear this and say, what? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But
a big portion is from the cops, though.
But we gave our rights away. Here's the difference between people, and I say this all the time, people in 1770 to the people now. In 1774 to 1779, they had nothing to lose at all. So they were willing to go right there, right then, balls out, and die for their beliefs. 3% against the most well-armed and technologically advanced nation on the face of planet Earth. And they won because they had nothing to lose. They were the most dangerous dog in the fight. And now we are willing to give up our rights and give back our rights because instead of saying, oh man, the cop wants my ID, he doesn't have a lawful ability to do that. I'm taking the arrest. I have nothing to lose. People say to themselves, well, my son has soccer practice tomorrow. I got a brand new Toyota Sedona. It's got third row seating. It's got little DVD players. My wife is banging. She has sex with me every night. I have too much to lose. So we handed it back to them. We gave it back, and now we're surprised when they're using it against us.
Yeah, and really, I mean, if people could go back in time and see the conditions that Americans started a whole war against, I mean, King George was taxing us at sub 5% rates. I mean, so this is the deal. We fought because we wanted no taxation without representation. But as soon as we get representation, it's okay for them to tax us at 18, 20, sometimes 33%. I mean, this is ridiculous. I would love to go back to the tax rates under King George, but unfortunately, we're stuck in this slavery cycle where we just get higher tax rates. And it's crazy. And the whole thing, another thing that we fought the war against, a lot of people don't remember because elementary school, they teach it to you when you're in like third grade. But a big thing was the English only allowed the East India Trading Company to trade overseas. Well, nowadays we've got the same thing, except it's intra-continent. I mean, we can't even trade goods in our own continent without these thugs coming around and saying, well, that's contraband. Did you pay your taxes on that? I don't know if you got approval from the state to move that. It's like we didn't fight a war so that our own government could enforce more tyrannical measures on us. We fought a war because we thought our government would be less tyrannical, but it's all turned around. Voluntarism is the only way. I mean, if you've got anything unconsensual that doesn't involve the government, everybody realizes that's awful. You know what I mean? If I go over to a guy and say, hey, hand me 5% of your cash, everyone looks at me and says, you're a thug, you're a thief. But the government does it, and they're like, oh yeah, you should have just paid, man. You should have just complied.
They started getting hip to it because what most people don't understand is it wasn't always that you had the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It used to be you had the right to life, liberty, and property. But the government didn't want you going and, we did what we did because we were better than the opposition and we took what was ours. The government didn't want that reproduction to happen. And secondly, if you had the right to life, liberty, and property, that would limit the government's ability to gain property, right? I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And almost everything that the government says is contradictory to itself. You know what I mean? And that's totally not going to change.
Hey, Josh,
no, it never will change.
Hey, can I make a funny real quick?
Go ahead, big man.
So, CH, I hope you don't take offense to this, man, but sometimes when I see you, I want to play the Boy Meets World theme song, man.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know Boy Meets World? That's because you're a young gun.
Yeah. I don't know a lot of stuff about them old times.
Now that you said that, I can see it.
Because it's Boy Meets World going through that road that we call life.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, have you heard of Boy Meets Girl? That's new now. They did a reboot 20 years later. Have you heard of that one?
I'll be honest, guys, about the only things that I watch on the internet nowadays is like
AFA. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, all day, every day, I'm just doing my AFA studies. I really just spend all the time, searching up. I'm pretty, I look at the government quite a lot and just learn as much as I can, or history, stuff like that. I don't really have a lot of interest in the entertainment stuff.
Well, you are first class.
Yeah, CH and Ty, dude, you really struck a chord with me.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could, Denver Metro. I love some of your audits, man. You are funny as hell.
Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, like you were talking about voluntarism, man. It's the only way. And how we just got out of, in 1776 of getting out of a tyrannical rule against the British with their, tyrannical taxes and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is that the just like less cancer is better than more cancer, less government is better than more government, right? And so why would you cut out? People are like, oh, we need to shrink government. We need to shrink government. Well, the problem is government is like cancer. Why would you cut out 97% of the cancer to just let the 3% grow back? I mean, that's always what's going to happen if you can ever learn from history, right? And we're talking about taxes, but in this country, most Americans pay 50% of their income to the government. And people say, well, I only pay 20% in taxes, but I mean, that's just, your federal income tax. It's not your state income tax. That's not your sales tax. Or if you own property and you want to continue to keep owning your property, then you have to pay rent to the government for the rest of your life. And that's not the bullshit speeding ticket you got, or you have to, renew your plates and register your vehicle.
And
you literally add everything up that you pay for the entire year. It ends up being about 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing, is that nobody went over to these paper dollars voluntarily. Everybody was voluntarily trading with gold and silver. And then, the government came around, and I think it was 1933, and Roosevelt said, give us all your gold. We're going to make it illegal to own gold, and you guys have to take this paper, and it's basically like money checks. But then when you go to cash your money check, they gave us like 50% of what we had in the first place. It it's all tyrannical, man, and people are acting like I'm kind of glad that COVID came around because it opened so many people's eyes to what government is and what it does. But this stuff's been going on for far too long, and I like the way you put that. It's like a cancer, because as the cancer grows, it literally kills the country, and it will not, we cannot have a rebirth until the government is completely dead.
But you know what? It's a great analogy talking about cancer, and let's further that, right? Like, it's like a cancer that's going to keep growing, and we don't want to go get chemo. You know what I mean? Like, freedom is the chemo to our cop cancer, and we need to be rid of it. Like, I was explaining to Police State Transparency yesterday. I was like, oh, by the way, doing a tour of Boston, like, oh, that's the Federal Reserve. He's like, oh, let's go and film. We're going to go inside. And I was like, I was so happy he said that. And I was like, but we cannot. And he goes, of course, we can film anything that's in public. And I said, however, the Federal Reserve is a private institution. And he says, no, our money goes there. That's our money. So we should be able to go in there. And I said, you have more right to privacy to film in a fucking McDonald's. You can film. They have their own police force for a building that's in tiny square footage.
Yeah, and I would definitely give them a hard time if I went there, because they operate as a private institution, but in fact they are actually a branch of the government. They just operate independent from the Congress and the president. So in theory, it was supposed to be made so that when the Congress wanted to spend a ton of money that they didn't have, that the Federal Reserve wouldn't just be like, oh, well, yeah, we'll just print it up. But now they do that anyways. And, it is a government agency, though. They are, in fact, like a branch of the government. So they're technically a public agency. So I would debate them on that to the hill. I'd lose, I'm sure. I'm sure they have their guns.
But private. I've actually done it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We tried going inside. They used force, and I contacted a lawyer, and he was like, yeah, no, he did some, because my lawyer is on retainer for my channel. And he was like, no, he did some deep research into it, and you cannot go inside. They use our money allocated through the government with their position within the government, but they enjoy the respective privacy that a private business would get. So what I'm saying is
that's sickening.
I think that, me, you, Booker, Denver Metro Audits, we're way more fun than the Federal Reserve. We're much better looking. We know how to have a good time. We can party on the weekends. So if you're going to give the citizens' money to a private entity, then just give it to me. It's the same thing. Like, it really is no different.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is really the thing, that there's no difference. If it's bad, if everybody in the whole country recognizes that it's bad for me to just have a printer in the back of my house and I can just print up all the money that I want and spend it on whatever I want, if they think it's bad for me to do that, then how is it prosperous for some government entity to do it the exact same, spend it on whatever they want? It's the same poison. It's just as bad. But they say, well, the Federal Reserve is providing this liquidity. They're going to save the economy. Well, that's fine. I'll save the economy. Just take away the counterfeiting laws. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I'll save the economy every day of the week.
Yeah, and banks contribute to that too, because banks are allowed to loan out 10 times the amount of money that they actually have. So they're literally creating money out of thin air. So if you deposit $100, now they can loan out $1,000. And because they don't actually have the money, it's just on a computer screen, and they're creating money, causing inflation. So if you bank there, for the longest time, I didn't use a bank. I would just go and get cashier's checks and stuff like that, because if you bank, especially with the big banks, if you're going to bank, get like a small credit union or something, because you're literally contributing to your own poverty if you're using banks. They're crooks, and they also collect billions of dollars in late fees. So basically they're collecting billions of dollars in overdraft fees from people who don't have any money. Like, they're not making enough money as it is, Well,
they make a brand out of you is what they do. So when you're born, you have credit. And no credit is better than bad credit. So what you'll see a lot of parents were doing in the 90s and the late 90s.
My dad did it to me. He used my Social Security for credit.
Exactly. And you can also...
I'm fucked when it comes to my credit, though.
You can do a new time homeowners thing. So like, for example, my parents could buy a home in my name, right? You are afforded credit as soon as you're born. You're now part of a corporation where you're afforded credit, so they can grow off that credit. So think of that. Like, let that play out in your head. As soon as you're born, if you have a credit value aligned to you, then just look down the road. Like, you have a value to the government. That's why they want to make sure that you maintain that credit. All that people should be worried about is maintaining their life, liberty, and their pursuit of happiness, and that they are free from being encumbered during that pursuit. But special interests. I say when these big companies fall, the government shouldn't bail them out. When the Kung Flu came around, mom and pop's businesses couldn't afford to stay open. They had to close their doors. They got homeless. They had nothing to eat. This is what happened. But these big business people, right? They're going out of business. It's not going to happen. They're going to get bailed out. I'm sorry, people, but this is the United States. The strong survive. That's how we do things. It's called fucking commerce. If you're going to go out of business, get the fuck out of business. Let that money come back to the little man so he's not putting his shop under.
Yeah, and when you do that whole bailing out of the businesses, it's money down the drain. Those businesses went out of business for a reason. The market did not have a desire big enough for the products that they produce to keep those businesses afloat. So if we keep them afloat with our fucking things and then they just keep sinking, that money could have been put towards producing goods that actually people wanted, or at least they were efficient at making. When Ford and all them got bailed out, they got bailed out and the CEOs got a huge raise. It's like, something's fishy there.
Do you remember when I want to say it was AT&T was going to buy T-Mobile? This is about 5 years ago. And the government can bail out whomever they want and make any business fail or succeed. However, I'm just going to say AT&T, T-Mobile. I could be wrong on the companies, but the government told them, no, you can't buy that because then you'd be a monopoly. And that would be illegal.
It was Verizon.
Verizon buying T-Mobile, right? Or AT&T, Verizon buying AT&T. And they said, right, you'd be a conglomerate. So you can't do that. So they want to make companies that are failing survive, but they want to limit the success of the companies that are actually generating revenue because, God forbid, that Verizon combined with AT&T might be powerful enough to be that 3%. It's absolutely ridiculous. You never trust someone that wants to control every aspect of your life. Freedom is perception. How free are we? Not very.
Oh yeah, we are the most unfree country in the world. I think that's the clear fact right there. But yeah, absolutely, William. Yeah, we are the people. But a lot of
compliments on that today.
Yeah, we're a big club, man, worldwide. But man, the thing is about that whole business limiting and stuff, like, people don't think about it. A lot of people, especially in my generation, I don't even know what generation I am in. I'm 23, but these people in my generation, they think, well, destroy the big businesses. Like, if we didn't have Andrew Carnegie in the late 80s or the late 1800s, early 1900s, gasoline probably would have came down in price. But when he was around, it came down around 98.6% from where it was originally. And when I'm talking about Rockefeller. When Carnegie was in charge of steel, it came down around 98.6%. When Rockefeller was in charge of oil, it came down somewhere in the same area. And then the government came in to save the day because they were a monopoly. And ever since they've come up with these, I don't even remember what the laws are, but they're essentially monopoly laws. Look at where the prices have gone. For everything. It's like they don't help anybody. We're so much poorer now. If my grandpa could afford oil more than I can afford him, my grandpa was richer than I am. If my grandpa could buy food better, like more cheap than I can, my grandpa was richer than I am. Sure, he doesn't have an HD screen, but the guy can go and buy all the things that he needs way cheaper than I could. And it's just ridiculous. We have become so much poorer than we were even 100 years ago. And we've got so much more technology nowadays. You'd think that we should have robots going to work for us, and we should all be sitting at home sipping on tea
Robot
and it's like,
audits.
yeah, oh.
Imagine
and
if
whoever-
a robot strolled up to a cop and was like, "Excuse me, officer, name and badge number. Share it, like, and subscribe. It is my constitutional right."
And then the RoboCop is there to be like, we won't violate your rights.
Excuse me, Mr. Citizen, taser deployed.
Yeah,
Malfunction.
exactly. But I mean, honestly, it's freedom. Freedom means pure freedom. You don't get to pick and choose when freedom should be and shouldn't be. Freedom just is what it is. It's either you're unfree or you're free. There's no in between. And right now, I mean, until the government is completely gone, we won't be free. That's my opinion. Government is tyranny, just by definition. If I have to allocate resources against my will to support something that I don't want to support, that's tyranny. No matter what the amount, no matter if it's 0.5% of my taxes or 70% of my taxes, it's all tyranny. I don't consent to it, and that's just the way it is, in my opinion. I don't like it at all.
I'm trying to figure out why the fuck they're paying the
taxation,
government taxes anyway.
Taxation is violent, and a lot of people will be like, well, taxation is not violent, but I mean, have you ever tried to not pay your taxes? You know what would happen to you if you decided, I'm not going to pay taxes? I mean, men with guns will come and they'll take you away and they'll lock you in a cage, and then if you refuse to go with them, then they'll tase you, beat you up, shoot you, do whatever they have to do. And you know, the thing about, you're talking about the government, we're better off without it. And here's the thing, is that if you watch a lot of the mainstream news, you'll believe that the world is this big scary place and we need a lot of government and police to protect you, when actually, to the contrary, we live in the most peaceful times in human history since we've been recording it. You're actually the least likely today to be the victim of a violent attack than any other time in human history. And
unless you're dealing
the media
with...
understands that human beings want to focus on the negative, and the reason for that is because we've only had this population explosion recently, and 99% of the human existence has been in 50 to 100 people tribes. So in tribal times, it was advantageous to focus on the negative because there could be a predator or there's a lion out there going to attack you. I mean, it was a dangerous world back then. So since our brains haven't had time to evolve, we still focus on the negative. And so that's why there's 10 bad stories to every one good story on the news, if that, right? And it goes same for I mean, all of our viewers too. I mean, if you put up a video where it's, you know, the cop's totally cool and it respects your rights, then you're not going to get any views on that, right? So the government, they know that, and they want you to believe that it's this big scary place, and that we need to have that they're necessary when they're actually not necessary. And the thing is that, well, taxes is the price that we pay to live in a civilized society. Well, when you were a kid, your parents taught you don't hit, right? They didn't tell you don't hit unless you're a man with a costume and a badge, or unless you're government, right? It's just a don't hit. It's a fundamental principle that we all learned. So just because government does provide good services, like let's say they have some program where they're helping the homeless, it doesn't matter. Hitting and violence and taxation, theft is theft. I can't go and say, hey, well, if government can do it, why can't I do it? Why can't I go steal this lady's purse on the street and then go give the money to the homeless guy because he hasn't eaten in 2 days? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
What gives government this right to say, we can take this by force, but you can't? You have to just be a slave and do what we say.
Yeah, monopoly on violence. And that's another thing, is like, I heard this guy make a comparison, and I was of the mind, you know, before the guy made the comparison. It was Bob Murphy, but he said something like, you know, it's like the mafia. It's like you go into a store and you say, hey, look, you know, we're gonna provide you with some protection, all right? And in return, you're gonna pay us some money. And if you don't pay, well, something might just happen to you. You know, like it's
Exactly.
Like sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we know it's gonna happen. You're gonna throw us in a cage, steal our property, beat us up. You know, anything that you can do to get that money, and it's not even profitable. You know, this stuff isn't even profitable. It's like you got to pay a guy $50,000 a year to go and steal $10,000 a year from somebody else. It's like, these people are so inefficient. Private thieves are better than public thieves, and I don't like either one of them.
Hey guys, real quick, everyone in the chat, I'm spamming the link. That's DMAFA Pranks. We have 88 people in here right now. DMA and myself created a new prank channel. This is the first video that we dropped. This one, we're going to have a lot more. You're probably going to see DMA featured a little bit more than myself, just because he's got the good voice for it. So, but go subscribe. Make sure everyone here goes and subscribe to the link that I just dropped. The gentleman on screen that you see between us, it's a DMAFA sandwich with a little CH and Thai mayonnaise in the middle. He got pranked. He was a super good sport about it, because if you get pranked and it's funny, you can just laugh. But make sure you subscribe. Also subscribe to CH and Thai Audits. Wait till you see the video that I'm going to drop tomorrow. So if you're a subscriber of mine, everyone on panel, please subscribe to Big Man Audits, CH and Thai Audits, Booker Dooley. He needs some subscribers. Denver Metro Audits, fucking killing it out there. I do have to shut this down. But I like this type of conversation where, usually like people just will watch us and our extent of our work for the day is telling a cop to go fuck himself, right? To make sure he didn't violate anybody's rights. But when we can have a discussion like this about what our rights actually are and how we can practice, exercise, protect, and defend those rights, I think that's where the real work.
More people will start watching, and
Yeah,
would
I'm
wanna
actually
know
going to
what
start a
their rights are.
podcasting kind of thing. We're going to put it on YouTube, but it's going to be about this kind of stuff. I love these conversations. So hopefully we can have at least both AFA and Denver Metro on. I haven't talked to the other two too much, but we'll try to get as many auditors on there as we can. But thanks for having me, AFA. You take it easy, brother.
Yeah, be good, bud.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, DMA. Thank you for coming up, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Booker,
Thanks,
Big
guys.
Man, thank you both so much. Like I said, everyone go and subscribe to DMA. He's that ill dude. Dirt Farmer, I'm going to, oh, damn. Hey, Dirt Farmer. Everyone subscribe to Poor Dirt Farmer here as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Smash that like button on the way out. That's the reason I stopped.